Hello and welcome to RLegal Solicitors update on the latest developments affecting European nationals and their partners in the lead up to Brexit. Whilst the government shamefacedly continues to use Europeans living in the UK as frontline bargaining chips in its negotiations with the EU, a lot has been written and reported in the press, much of it speculation, about the impact on the 3 million Europeans living in the UK. We try here to cut through the bluster and guide you on actual developments and the current legal position. First and foremost, the official government line is that there has been no change in the position of European nationals living lawfully in the UK. Despite newspaper articles to the contrary, the triggering of Article 50 will not, it is said, be a cut-off point for the application of European-derived rights of residence in the UK. The reason for this is simple. Until the UK actually exits the EU, it will remain subject to European law. Triggering the exit mechanism is not the same as actually exiting. It only sets a negotiation process and time frame in place. As such, any European or their partner living in the UK and entitled to a registration certificate or permanent resident should be unaffected. However, government attitudes are hardening, particularly towards those who they consider to be in the UK without a lawful right of residence. Briefly, a European national and their dependent family members has a right of entry and residence in the UK for a period of 3 months. Beyond that, it is necessary to show the exercise of a treaty right, namely through 1. Employment, 2. Self-employment, 3. Study or economic self-sufficiency, both of which require private healthcare to be in place. A right to permanent residence will ordinarily accrue after 5 years exercise of treaty rights in the UK. In February, the government's latest EEA regulations came into effect. The most notable changes in these regulations were, number 1, the withdrawal of appeal rights for extended family members such as unmarried partners, and 2, asserting the power to remove Europeans who cannot establish a right of residence. In other words, who cannot show they are exercising a treaty right. Naturally, this aggressive tone has caused concern amongst those Europeans and their partners living lawfully in the UK. One group of Europeans in particular who have faced mixed reports are those living in the UK and not working. For example, students as well at university who are living in the UK but not working. To meet the requirements of the EEA regulations, this group of people would normally need to hold comprehensive health insurance, which the majority tend not to have. As such, technically, they are not exercising treaty rights as economically self-sufficient individuals and can be removed from the UK under the new regulations. Following a furore, a spokesman for the Home Office told the Guardian newspaper that, quote, EU citizens will not be removed from the UK or refused entry solely because they do not have comprehensive sickness insurance. This is somewhat a lenient stance for this government. It has not reflected either the law or the official Home Office internal guidance to caseworkers. It is likely it can be taken at face value so long as the European in question is not a charge on the public purse or is a foreign criminal. However, in contrast, the Home Office continues to refuse applications for permanent residence with evidence from students who are economically self-sufficient individuals where the applicant did not hold comprehensive health insurance during all or part of the 5-year qualifying period. No such lenient or pragmatic stance being taken even where the individual can demonstrate that they did not have recourse to public funds during the requisite period and were therefore self-evidently economically self-sufficient. We will continue to monitor the developments surrounding the UK's departure from the EU. In the meantime, we continue to advise those affected to seek either a registration certificate or permanent residence as applicable to safeguard their status. If you would like assistance, please get in touch with us. You can get in touch with us by looking at the caption below. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.